to say they're controlling it. You know,
You seem very optimistic.
I'm not. I'm actually not very optimistic about it. I, like I said, I think it's going to take an economic collapse for anything to change.
You ever read the book Fourth Turning?
No.
Yeah, the guy talks about how U.S. goes through 4 turnings every 20 years. Things change every 20 years. I had him on the podcast 2 months ago, something like that. Neil Howe is his name. And by the way, he wrote this book in 97 with a guy named William Strauss, if I'm not mistaken. And, you know, they said, well, here's what happened for this 20 years. Here's what happened here. They made 5 predictions. One of them was Russia's going to invade a neighboring country, which they did. 2, they said market crash. 3, they said there's going to be a big pandemic. 4, they said something about the Tea Party. And 5, they said in 1997, they said civil war. You know, there could be a possibility of a civil war where the 2 sides can no longer get along and understand each other, where that's going to be the collapse. Not a market correction, a flat-out civil war, where you're going to sit across another guy like, dude, we're never going to agree on what you're saying here. We're living in 2 different countries here. You're in La La Land. That was the prediction they made. And they said the civil war is going to be taking place somewhere between 2008 and 2028. And they wrote this in 97.
That's crazy.
They wrote it in 97. And we're kind of living in it today because, you know, the last 4 years exposed a lot. But for me, the level of optimism comes in moments where you feel like you no longer have control. This is for me. Again, not for you. I'm talking to you for myself. This is when faith plays a role to bring optimism. This is when you go back and think about with Hitler, where there was a guy named Dietrich Bonhoeffer. I don't know if you know who Dietrich Bonhoeffer is. This guy was the guy that, the way Hitler was able to get what he did to Germany, he went after churches. And he feared, if you believe in God, that's the only thing he can't beat. Same thing with Russia. What's the first thing Lenin and Stalin did? It's materialism. God doesn't exist. The more you eliminate faith in people, the more I can control you. You ever seen the movie Book of Eli with Denzel?
Yeah.
Remember when he says, this one book, if I get this one book, I can control the people. I can control the people. And Denzel didn't want to give the book to the other guy because he wanted to do bad things with it rather than doing good things with it. No, man, I think hope and faith is a very valuable quality that the enemy fears.
Well, I mean, there's a full-on attack on Christianity right now, and it's being, you know, waged by the media. Did you watch the Olympics?
Of course.
It's fucking utter blasphemy. Like, it's just, like, acceptable. Like, it's acceptable to...
Why does it bother you, though?
Why does it bother me?
Because you're not a Christian, but why does it bother you?
Because it is fucking an unnecessary attack on a large majority of the world's faith for no fucking reason.
Yep.
Who benefits from that? Like, why is this transgender stuff just being shoved down your throat every time you fucking turn on TV? Why are we having men and women's sports? Like, it's nonsense. It's utter fucking nonsense. People are too scared to say anything about it.
I think people are louder today.
They're getting louder.
Yeah, because of one guy. One guy gave a platform for people to be louder. If he didn't buy Twitter in 2022, America's a very different America today.
Yeah.
Very different America today. And this goes back to the argument I was making to you, which for me, the argument is, I'm not surprised that Jews are making movies to say they're great. The first Titanic that was ever made was made and directed by Hitler. Do you know who the hero was in the first Titanic? A Nazi soldier. That's his job. His job is to convince us Nazis are good people. And then you watch...
Do you think Nazis are bad people?
I think depends who you ask. You ask a German, you ask somebody that was...
He's asking
part
you.
Of, you know, that's their representation, that's their country. You think CIA is good to people in Iran? They hate the CIA.
I think the CIA is a terrorist organization. And I think that, you know, ever since I was a little kid, I knew that Nazis were not the bad people. They were people that were born in fucking Germany that joined that army. Just like people in America joined the fucking American army. This whole idea of like a boogeyman of like all the fucking people born in Germany are just like all of a sudden homicidal killers and they're all really bad. It's just fucking nonsense. Like the idea that all Muslims.
I fucking love him, man. He's the GOAT. There's no fucking way, right? No Bitcoin, no Liddy, no key case holder, no dog tag case. I'm being trolled. Bro, I still can't believe it that there was nothing. Sniper scabs are actually, the guards are pretty fucking cringe.
Кепка!
Ну что, нормально? Чьи?
Тут наших бьют! Вон он, упырь! Кепка ебаная! Куда он делся? Граната тут!
Where was this guy the whole raid? Now he decides to show up and like act like that? Like, bruh. Yo.
Пацаны, окружаем его, сука! Гений, блядь!
People like nothing. What the hell? First time I get like absolutely nothing in there. Unai egg. Egg. I don't know how much 5x1s are. 5/16 are worth. Oh yeah. PBA right now running the whole way being 50 something kilos. Don't have cream? No. Blah, 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 blah. The mega goop all the time. More and more goop. I know I'm gonna find something else. So where are the 5681? This gotta go. This. Down. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave because there's always gonna be more loot. Never ends. Nobody fucking moves or loot. There could be a bit point. I have to look. Like I'm at a point that like might as well. This. That is one. My big shoes, no shit. CPU, RAM, no. Maps. I don't have space for maps. Jeez. Bye bye. Oh, I almost missed it. Was about to close. Wait, what? I thought that I had Expo. Yo, that could have been scary, Jesus. I don't have Expo. Story sewer. That's crazy.
They're terrorists. It's just fucking bullshit. But that's what Hollywood keeps fucking pumping out there. Is like every fucking bad guy in these movies are always these fucking jihadi terrorists, you know? Like they're always the fucking bad guy. They're not. They're a fucking quarter of the globe. Like a quarter of the globe is Muslim. They're not all fucking bad guys. They're not all terrorists. They're actually like a pretty peaceful religion. But like I don't like this propaganda being like shoved down your fucking throat all the time.
So you think, okay, so you said earlier, did you watch the Olympics opening? Great. Who do you think did it? Okay. Are you alluding to the fact that Jews were the ones that are funding the Olympics, the commercials? So because of that, they made fun of Christians. Is that kind of where you're going? Or no, you're just saying they're mocking Christianity, period.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who's.
Okay, I got you. I thought you were going there. No, but to me, okay.
I just don't think like on a worldwide stage, mocking a religion is acceptable.
I fully agree
Like
with you.
it's atrocious,
I
and
fully
especially
agree
like
with
this injection of gay shit, which is just like why? Why does everything have to be gay? Why do transgender people have to fucking read stories to children? Why do you have to have gay books talking about gay sex acts for 9-year-olds? Like when I was 9, they didn't tell us about sex at all. You weren't in fucking puberty. Like why do you have to learn about like homosexual acts when you're 9 years old? Like it's just nonsense. It's utter fucking nonsense. And who's pushing that? The fucking media. The media is pushing that. The media is saying that that's okay. So I'm not okay with that.
Neither am I. I got 4 kids. Trust me.
Yeah.
I lived in LA 24 years. I lived in Dallas 5 years. I'm in Florida because of that. So in Florida, you know, vaccines. We were talking about vaccines earlier, you and I, but, you know, whether you took the vaccine or not, conversation you and I were having. But, you know, even in Texas, if you want to use religious exemption for your kids to not take the vaccine, even if they go to a Christian school, you still have to have your kids take it and show the card. You know what it is in Florida?
What's that?
You just say it. And they're like, okay, no problem. No
I mean,
questions
there shouldn't
asked.
be any requirement anyways. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like, you know, you announced you're running for office in 2015. It sounds like you're going to run again. I mean, you know, you're very firm in some of the convictions you're having. And what's interesting about it is you're going through now. So I don't know, are you a guy that reads a lot or no? Are you a big reader? Do you read a lot of
I
books?
read a little bit. Not a ton. I mean,
Is the interest there for you to go deeper and deeper on this topic, or is it surface
I'm a
level?
lot more interested in politics in general, you know, like, I mean, I'm watching what's happening in the world and I think things are accelerating at a very rapid rate and, there's a fucking problem, you know, just like, I mean, that's why I did the fucking like whole, you know, course for guys. Cause I feel like there's a problem with fucking dating. Guys are doing the wrong thing. They're getting bad results. Half the guys are just quitting on dating. Like there's some real problems in the world. So
Tell us about the course you're doing.
yeah, I mean, that's kind of the premise of it is guys have bad directions, you know, they're doing the wrong thing and they're getting a bad result because of that, they're quitting. And nobody's really like putting out the fucking good result. In fact, they're giving them like really bad directions. Like Hollywood's giving them horrendous directions. And so because of that, you know, people have bad maps. You know, bad maps don't lead you to the right place. You're better off not to have a map. You go to the fucking gas station, you ask them, you know, where this and this is, and he tells you fucking go up the road, take a right, and then go 5 miles, take a right, go up the road 3 miles and take a left, and you'll get there. And like, and the place is back this way. Like, you know, you're worse off for having this bad directions. And that's where I think, you know, the state of dating is guys are much worse off for having these bad directions. And, so yeah, I just kind of wanted to like lay out there the correct approach, because that's what I mean. Look, I dedicated a big part of my life to my sex addiction, right? So I learned a lot, and I learned a lot because I had a big sample size of girls that wanted to sleep with me that I screwed it up with, and a large sample size of girls that wanted to sleep with me that I also slept with. And only in cross comparing that data can you really figure out like what is effective and what's not effective. Like, if you have a bunch of girls that don't want to fuck you, you're not going to learn that much from that, you know, because like maybe they didn't want to fuck you because you're Armenian, maybe they didn't want to fuck you for this reason or whatever. But like when I have a large sample size of girls that for sure want to fuck me, and I know that because they sent me a DM butt naked with their asshole spread saying I want to fuck you, so it's a pretty good indicator, right? And I screwed it up. So I'm just saying, like in cross comparing that data, I was able to figure out like what things guys are doing wrong and what things I was doing wrong. And one of the things that I was doing wrong that most guys were doing wrong is I was over communicating interest with the girls that I really liked. I was getting a bad result with the girls that I really liked, and then every other girl that I didn't care about, I was fucking and having a great relationship. They were chasing me. And what it broke down to was like the difference between pursuing and being pursued. And when you pursue something, you don't think about its flaws. You think about, how do I get it? Kind of like you're at an auction. You're not thinking about like, you know, the flaws of this item. You're thinking about the other 5 guys that are fucking bidding on it and the loss that you're going to feel if you don't get it, right? So when you're pursuing something, you think about, how do you get it, right? So most guys are pursuing the girl. And what that does is put the girl in a position of, I know I can have this guy. Do I want him? When you're in that position, it's like when somebody's trying to sell you something, when somebody's trying to pitch you a fucking idea. And I bet you get pitched all the fucking time. You get a lot of money. So sure, you get pitched. When somebody fucking pitches you, the first things that you think about is what's wrong with this fucking deal. But if you want to get involved in a deal and the fucking round is closing and 9 fucking of your best buddies just got in there, you're going to be a lot less fucking worried about what's wrong with that fucking deal. You're going to be more worried about how the fuck do you get in it. You're going to trust that they did the fucking due diligence, right? The same thing is true with pre-selection men and women. There's just a lot of these concepts that guys are just completely fucking unaware of. And so I wanted to lay out a foundation of like the things that they're doing wrong, the things that they should be fucking doing, and an understanding of the psychology of like why these things work, why these things don't work, why this is bad, why small things have a fucking massive downstream negative effect. And, you know, and then the power struggle in relationships. I see a lot of guys in these relationships and they're just like, they're just constantly making these concessions. And then eventually like these things become expected and not appreciated. The woman has way too much fucking power, doesn't respect the guy, and then ends up cheating on him. And I know because I was the guy that they fucking cheated on with all the time. And I would hear these fucking girls and the story always, and it already started with, he was such a nice guy, but, you know, such a nice guy, but, you know, and then it was like, they say that she fucking cheats on him. And it always starts like that. And I think a lot of guys think that because in business or because with friendships, they put in a lot of this effort, and that effort is rewarded with a, you know, promotion or a fucking raise or whatever in jobs. And in friendships, you know, your buddy has your back in a fucking fight, shows up fucking 2 a.m. to help you out. Like, you're going to have his back in the future. So positive correlation with this effort. However, in a relationship, that positive correlation, you know, is not fucking there. It's actually a negative correlation. The more effort that you put in before you've had sex with a girl, the more you actually get punished for that. And so this is something that like is not intuitive, because in your life experience, it's been the opposite. That's why a lot of successful guys actually have a lot harder time with these girls. And my broke friends actually get more pussy than my rich friends. And my rich friends actually a lot of times use their money to their detriment, instead of to help them, because money is a very powerful tool, as you know, with a lot of things in life. And also it can be with women, but most guys implement it incorrectly. So anyway, so yeah, that was one of my passion projects. I enjoy helping people. And that was like one of the, you know, things that I've realized was like, I got more enjoyment from helping somebody else out than I did buying myself a Ferrari or whatever the fuck car of the week I wanted to get, you know? And, so yeah, I focused the time on that. And while I was doing that, I happened to fucking start noticing these fucking politics. And I got to a point in my life where I feel like I've gotten more than I was ever probably fucking deserving of. And so I just am at a place where I just feel like I should fucking do the right thing, whatever the cost. And so that was why I have been going hard on this Israel to my fucking financial and personal detriment. But whatever, man, it's the fucking right thing. So that's what I'm going to do.
I love it. Brother, this has been great. Really enjoyed it. And looking forward to seeing what you do next, man. And by the way, we're going to put the link below to the whole academy you're talking about. Cool. We'll put it below for people to be able to see it. We appreciate you. interesting things to say about Ryan in the space.
Honestly, Dan is the GOAT.
And he was talking about aliens, and then he came to the realization that they were feeding him it. They wanted him to see it. They wanted him to go talk about it to everybody that there's aliens. Because what aliens do...
kind of like, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because what aliens do, dude, is it makes us powerless, right? If there's aliens coming, they're so incredibly powerful, we got to submit, and then we got to become a one world order.
Yeah.
You know, if you study, like, Bill Cooper is a G, dude.
Pull up a history on him. And he worked for Navy intelligence.
He did.
Conspiracy theorist Bill Cooper made predictions regarding the potential attack on the United States and the individual who would be blamed for it. On June 18th or 28th, 2001, he stated that a major attack would occur and that bin Laden would be implicated. Whoa. A couple months before.
And then they killed him.
Specific.
How did he die?
They ambushed him in his driveway.
Who?
The FBI. He came up and talked to him. They shot him from the back.
What? Whoa. I didn't know that's how he died.
It's a dangerous game because then there wasn't the flood of conspiracies everywhere. You know, conspiracy theorists are all like they have a fantasy that they're so dangerous that the government's going to come after. And some of them they do. You know, but it's really what information are you getting out?
What you said in the beginning was spot on. You said you don't think things are getting worse. You just think it's becoming more exposed because of the internet. Yeah, because like imagine if we would have had TikTok and Instagram in 62 or 63, right? When all that shit was going on. Like that, I mean, the president getting fucking his head smoked in broad daylight on TV.
100%.
Which almost happened, but I mean,
if that's real.
If it's real.
Bro, you haven't seen the video of some White House intern or something moving the press to the side to get a better shot as the flag comes in this fucking is lowered down so they
photographer?
Yeah. He's moving people. Dude, some guy got shot. You're moving people over. You're not like running for your life or dropping. Come on, dude. Like, here's what I've learned about these high impact events, right? We're talking JFK, 9/11. There's so many layers to it so that guy, whatever event they want to happen, happens. They don't get out.
Right.
So there's layers upon layers. And that's why everyone in the 9/11, JFK conspiracy community, they're all fighting with each other.
Yeah.
Because they think they have the one.
Think
and
they
I'm
have
like,
the right.
it's all of it.
Right.
It's all of it.
It's a little bit of all of it.
You know, I mean, if you look at 9/11, dancing Israelis, explosions in the building,
in the basement, yeah.
Were those actually planes or were they
holograms,
missiles? I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, dude, but direct energy weapons. Like, how does this building just dustify? Just dustify.
That is crazy. And there's also the Operation Northwoods where the exposed CIA documents where they wanted to fly jetliners and blow them up over Cuba as a pretext.
I mean, dude, if you study Operation...
They had the roadmap to 9/11 before 9/11.
Study Operation Northwoods and tell me that's not point for point the Challenger explosion. Every single point of that is exactly what the Challenger explosion was. Okay? So...
Wait, how is the Challenger explosion?
Okay, so you studied it. Okay, so what is Operation Northwood? All right, one of them is to pull Cuba into the war. They're going to create a fake musical concert, and they're going to have these college students go play there. We're going to parade them around in the media, make it a big event. Everyone watches them go, get on the plane. The plane goes. They're going to lower the plane. And they're going to put another plane up and blow up the plane and blame it on Cuba. Okay? Study the Challenger explosion. Oh, we got a teacher on this flight. It's the first time a teacher's going to space. Everyone's doing the media tour. Everyone's doing the media tour. Then the big day comes, all their families there. They're watching it. Everyone's cheering. Plane goes up, explodes. You're like, Sam... Well, how did the astronauts get out? It's called the padded room. There's literally water. It's not water slide, but I'm struggling for the word. A tunnel or tube that if it looks like it's going to go bad on the challenge, if something's going to blow up, you go down this tube, you get to this
like a
password,
last minute
shut it.
evacuation thing.
Yes. Yes. And then you look at it was in Florida. A guy basically proved that a bunch of them are still alive.
What?
Yeah, you've never looked into the Challenger
No.
explosion? I love when I do this. Look up the Challenger
I don't know.
astronauts still
Shit.
alive.
This is why I got you here, bro. You're my tour guide today.
Yeah. I had a shirt I wanted to give you. I got to drop it off. Maybe if there's a way I can give it to you. It says, I get my news from Sam Tripoli.
Oh, I love it, dude. Yeah, just send me one or tell me where to get it.
Yeah, I'll tell you where I
definitely
could drop it off somewhere. But
So,
yeah.
so there's a guy, an investigator in Florida who's looking at this.
He was the guy that got fluoride out of he was on my show. I'm bad with names, but basically, yeah. So if you get into
he talks about fluoride too. Okay.
Yeah, so every one of them is alive except for the guy in the top middle. And this is before the internet. The black guy and the Asian guy both have twins that were never recorded before that. They both have their twins are still alive. The chick in the top corner with the curly hair, she teaches at either Syracuse or Harvard, has the same mannerisms. If you look at go to images actually, and there's actually go to that black and white one down one, nope, over that one, bang, right. These are them. These are the pictures of them alive right now. This is what they look at. Some of them didn't even change their names, dude.
Is it not loading on Facebook, Steve?
No, I've seen this article though. I saw it this morning.
Really?
Yeah, it's funny
Whoa.
enough. I was looking at this dude's face and I was like, they look exactly the same.
Exactly the same,
But I can't
dude.
find. Oh,
They didn't
man, I
even.
wish I
There
Has
could-
this
it is.
guy
Click
ever
that one right over there. No, over into the other list.
So why though?
Go over
Why?
more.
Why blow
To
up the
to
fucking
the
rocket?
Right. Go to the right, the other way. Yeah, down. Click that one. See if you can get that. There it is. You know.
It's a little bit better.
So she is
Wow.
a teacher. The guy in the middle, Scobie or whatever
The
his
black
name is.
dude?
He had a business in which their logo was a cow flying in the sky, and the exhaust or whatever follows the exact way that the Challenger went. This guy right there, they're the exact people. Now you can go like the Asian guy has a weird kind of different hair, but everyone looks at the Asian guy and the black guy both.
The black guy looks very similar.
They're cousins, you know. So
Right. So, but why? What's the purpose? What's the point?
to traumatize the population and increase the funding for NASA, which funds black ops. They want to raise nationalism. They want to traumatize the audience. They want to do all that. That's what that's about. False flag, high impact events. I 100% believe this.
So, on the hierarchy of
They didn't change, dude. They didn't change their names. You know why? Because the internet wasn't around then.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody would know their name. No one would know. As a month goes by, everyone's moved on. Nobody knows the name of the. Look at the chick up there, dude. She has the exact same fucking name. The guy in the middle has the exact same fucking name.
Interesting. Has this guy ever tried to go talk to these people?
Someone did, and he's like, "No, it's not me. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. It's not me."
Really? Right. Why would they admit it?
Right. See that cloud right there? That guy, the guy in the middle I told you about, has a logo. I think it's cows in the sky or something.
Mm-hmm.
The logo is a cow making that smoke thing right there on the left.
Weird.
Yeah.
That's out there. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah.
But the Operation Northwoods. Did you see the part about it with the CIA?
Here is a clearer picture.
Did you see the Jesus hologram they wanted to do in Cuba?
The Jesus hologram?
Yeah, they had a hologram. The CIA wanted to project a hologram of Jesus coming down and talking to them about overthrowing their government.
I wouldn't doubt it, dude. So I've had people on my show, women, who've said they've talked to the Intergalactic Federation, which is another
That's awesome.
group. Yeah. They're always hot too, and you're like, "Oh, you're so hot." I'm just
more believable.
I'm just gonna listen to you. You're so fucking hot, and pretty privilege is for real. She said that the real psyop, and this I'm not co-signing on this, but it sounds interesting because they do this a lot, dude. The real psyop will be that the elites fake that they faked it, and that there's going to be real contact coming, real connection.
They fake that they faked it, so
Yeah,
we don't believe it when it's real.
We believe that the elites are faking it, and that there might be actual real contact coming from with angels, demons, or aliens, whatever you believe it is.
Yeah.
So, and they do that. Like, part of me,
Of course they do.
part of me thinks that the alien stuff, I mean, the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, is the elites trying to tell you they're putting it out, when I think it could be, God.
It's all controlled.
No, but God is pushing it out.
God is pushing it out.
That there's, if there's bad, there's good. We live in a dualistic universe. So if there's bad, evil, there's good. Maybe good is pushing this shit out to get people to wake up to the world that they live in. It's a weird theory, but part of me thinks that there's a bunch of things going on. God could be pushing this out. Could also be the elites wanting to burn the old guard and get rid of all these old people that are no longer producing money for them, but they still have to pay them out.
It could be like the Michael Aquino thing, telling the Vietnamese that there's witches running around in the forest. It's telling all the people that already believe that Epstein's doing all this crazy stuff, worshiping Baal, doing Bohemian Grove, all that stuff Alex Jones talks about. Tell everyone that all that's real, and here's all the evidence of it, and here's all the child sacrifice and adrenochrome and all that. Let's put it all out there and show them what they already believe, and drive people even more crazy, so they have no grip,
anxiety,
zero grip on reality.
But my question to you is, do you think that this isn't happening? Do you think that we don't have this predator class that uses hurting children as a jump in to the highest levels of entertainment?
No, we definitely do.
It's not happening. I think it's definitely happening.
Yeah, me too. So that's the big
exactly.
thing. They're putting this out to raise your anxiety, but I'm like, it's happening. Like, that's it. Like,
This brings me back to what I was talking to you about Whitley Strieber earlier. So Whitley Strieber went on Art Bell way early days, I think in the 80s, and he was talking about how he was a part of some child experimentation thing in Texas, because his dad worked on a military base in Texas, and he said he went through some gruesome experiments where they were subjecting him and other young children to like videos of people being tortured and killed and dismembered, gruesome stuff, and they were like being told that they were responsible for it, to induce incredible psychological trauma in some sort of an attempt to partition the human mind and create like Manchurian candidates or whatever it is.
Yes.
And one of the things I just learned about like a couple days ago was this story of the Finders. Finders group.
Yeah, 100%.
So you known about that?
Yeah, 100%.
So that was in Florida.
That was in Florida, and again, the FBI is cleaning it up.
Right. So the cops, the story, what was the story? The cops saw these kids playing.
Basically, people saw these dirty kids with these two guys, and they thought something was suspicious.
Yeah.
And so they called the cops. Cops came up, and they started doing interviews on them, and they basically realized that these kids were getting trafficked. And the craziest thing is they found the mothers. The mothers were like, oh, no, that's not happening. 100% happening. And these people had like some kind of internet system where they could talk to people, and other, like China was a big part of this. The Chinese getting the kids like that. And what happened was the FBI came in and just quashed the whole thing, said nothing was there. We discovered it. Nothing's there. And now they're doing it again with this Epstein stuff. They 100%, the Finders, the Franklin scandal, same thing. Franklin scandal leads all the way to George Bush Sr. in the White House.
Right.
So the people are saying this is a Democrat thing, and the Republicans can't come to grips with it.
Right.
It's the Republicans have been doing it as well.
Yeah.
It's like Republican, Democrat is all pro wrestling. It's all predator class.
Yeah. But like you said, it's what you said. It's like the 3D chess of the double reverse psychology or whatever. Show them that you can fake stuff. Make them think that you're actually faking it when in reality this stuff could be real. So that
100%.
way people completely lose their grip on reality.
They want us to think that they are omnipresent and control of everything, dude.
Yeah.
Right? It's like panopticon, what is the? There's a village that this guy faked a whole Russian village for a European princess that he wanted to marry. Potomkin Village. Panopticon is a prison in which the prisoners always think that the guards are watching. They position them high enough that they can't see them.
Oh yes, in the center.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they can't see him, and then the
Pull up a panoptic, type in like prison after it, and show images.
But that is interesting too because it's a famous story where he created a fake whole Russian village to impress this princess. And I think that's all of this shit. I think that's a big part of AI. People think I'm crazy, but there's a part of me that thinks AI is shadow in the cave. It's very much to me like the nuclear arms race.
Yeah.
Where they tried to make it seem like, oh, dude, we could be destroyed. Yeah, that's basically it. Where they don't know if you're watching, they can't tell if you're watching, right?
Yep.
Everyone's they think you're watching at all times.
At all times.
That's what that's what we think about AI. And then just this fake facade that isn't really as powerful as. But
I seem to. That seems to be. I've heard a lot of smart people tell me that they think like the LLMs are not anywhere near like a real artificial intelligence.
I mean, dude, did you see the thing the other day where Grok? There was Riley Reid. You know who Riley Reid is? Yeah. You know, she's a talented woman. And there was a picture of her doing her rap. I don't know if you've seen the rap that she does where she drops N-bombs left and right.
Oh, no.
I guess if you hook up with enough black guys, you get the N-word card.
You get the free pass.
Yeah, she's singing it. And then someone goes, Grok, who is this? And what is her Instagram? And Grok said, this is Erica Kirk. And yeah, it's so hilarious, dude.
That's fucking crazy.
You really want to test AI? Ask them something you know the answer to, and then see if they get it right.
I get shit wrong all the time.
I'm not gonna say the AI, but I asked this one AI about how many of the people that ICE has grabbed are innocent and not illegals. It said 75%. And
be right back. And really, man. That sucks, man. It makes me not want to do it.
even my buddy who won on the point.
It said 74% are innocent, not illegal.
Yeah, innocent and not illegal, which is a total bullshit number.
Right.
But they're basically quicker at doing Google than Google at this point.
Right.
That's all you see them searching.
It's distilling all the Google stuff that's already curated into one trough.
Yep.
For you to get your slop, all in one spot.
And we have to order it around. It's not sentient.
Right. Exactly.
They keep telling us it's getting sentient, but it's like at the end of the day, I'm not saying there aren't going to be bad weapons out there or it's going to look really crazy, but the way they're selling it on us is like it very much is Cold War nuclear fucking weapons race feel to it. It's like we got to stay in front of China, dude. If we don't stay in front of China, dude, they're going to lap us. And you're like, and then you find out the U.S. government is sending, China fucking conductors and shit like that. You're like, and that reminds me of when I was young, my dad always raised me to be a conspiracy theorist. He said, don't believe anything you hear and half of what you see. And now it's like, don't believe anything you hear or anything you see. Right. But I remember being very young, watching the news, and they were like, the U.S. is sending aid to Russia. And I felt that was very weird. I go, why are we sending aid to the people we're in an arms race with? And then I realized that it's all bullshit. They had to prop Russia up because Russia didn't have enough money to stay with us. But they needed Russia as the bad guy to scare us into doing it. And I think that's North Korea, too. I think North Korea is just a giant sable rabber.
I don't think so, because North Korea, like, it's giant dictatorship. I could not have asked for anything better right now. I can't see shit, but yo, this might be the safest play. It's gotta be. The lighthouse is sick nighttime. Oh no, you again. My brother. How you doing, man? Please tell me it's a Bitcoin. Oh, how you doing? tired. I can't sleep. Oh, I got up in the game. Alright. Good night. Sleep tight. Yo, this is tripping me out. Every time I come here, there's something to loot, and I can't find it. Every time. That's the first time I see that. Damn.
Что хотел? Принято. Большое видится на расстоянии, чтобы контролировать ситуацию. Удачи!
Extract from lighthouse. How fucking messed up is that? damn, I missed that. God damn, my birthday. You.
Rattle saber.
Yeah.
Get people to believe in. You know, flat Earth, viruses don't exist, nukes don't exist, and the funny, as Owen Benjamin calls him, the funny mustache guy wasn't who we thought he was, and not in a good way too. There's some some dick riders out there, and I'm like, they're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He was a British agent, so. But once we get to that, you know, those are the last four. And it's like, those are the four that if you bring it up in a casual conversation, everyone's walking away and thinking you're a crazy person.
What about the moon? Is that one accepted?
I think people are now like kind of like, you can talk about the moon with your regular friends and they're like, oh, that's interesting.
Right.
But these other four.
The flat earth, you're kicked out.
When you're like, hey, dude, there's viruses aren't real. And they're like, whatever, whack job. Right? Or, you know, or like, hey, the funny mustache guy was a fucking Rothschild and he was controlled by the British Empire. They'll just walk away and think you're a crazy person.
Right.
Those are the last four left.
But there are a lot of people who think Hitler's cool now.
Yeah, and I mean, and listen, there's some guys out there that have done a wonderful work. Like their whole life, they've sacrificed everything to kind of call out, you know, Zionism and stuff like that. And they want to believe that guy was this hero. You know, they're like, he arrested a Rothschild. It's like for a week, dude. The guy was in jail for a week. I've had friends for DUIs longer in jail, you know? So it's like, what they want you to believe is that this guy rose up in this completely locked down country. Like after, like World War I, World War II. My buddy Johnny Woodard, he's my co-host on a bunch of my shows. He said like the Greater Israel Project is the Kevin Bacon of conspiracies, right? Where like everything leads back to it, right?
Yeah.
And if you look at the Greater Israel Project and the map of it.
Is that really on the IDF badges?
Yeah. Dude, that's what this is all about.
Pull up an image of the IDF patch. I saw that in the Jang video, and I was like, is that real? I never looked it up.
Yeah, but if you look at the map of that.
Crazy. Oh, yeah. It's like 10 times the size of Israel currently.
Well, if you look at the map of it right there, it's at that bottom.
Oh, yeah, the bottom
left.
all
the way, there it is.
Punch it on that. So that's Greater Israel.
So do me a favor.
Pull up,
Look up the map of the Greater Israel Project.
Yeah, no, I didn't even realize that those two blue lines.
Now do me a favor and open up another one and look up the map of ancient Babylon. Dude, they are like great. Look at it's that one right there. No, that it. Now, if you compare those two, ancient Babylon goes farther up to the north, but they're the same thing.
Oh, it's very similar.
Like if you
go back to Israel, let me see where Turkey's cut. Oh, they're not even taking any of Turkey.
That's it. It goes higher up in Iraq and stuff.
Right.
In Babylon.
Yep.
But it's the same thing. Even on the side when it goes into Egypt, dude.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. So this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
So when everyone gets into the J World Order and all that stuff, and you go, well, there's levels to this shit. It's even higher. And they look at you like you're a crazy person. It's like, there were religions around before all the Abrahamic religions. And those, I was talking on Rogan about, but it's like the old gods want to come out and play. They've been sitting in the back very quietly, waiting their turn. And like they kind of want to come out. Like, you know, it's like, if you look at the Statue of Liberty, it's Mithras, which is Lucifer, you know? And you look at he's got
Luciferian, dude.
So this is a big thing that I've been talking about because I know you want to get an Epstein files and all that stuff is that I think there's a lot going on with these files, and it's not necessarily just, you know, we're going to release these. Like there's games being played too. Like there's, again, how deep do you want to go?
Right.
And for me, I had this guy, Ian Ferguson, on my show from White Lotus of Light. He has a YouTube channel called White Lotus of Light. And he came on, he said something to me that really clicked with me. And that is, there's a war going on right now between Luciferians and Malachians. And it sounds freaking crazy, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at the spectrum of good versus evil, right?
Yes.
Over here is Jesus, perfect. Didn't do anything wrong, never sinned, never did anything.
Right.
And then you go all the way to the other side, right? And you go all the way to the evil. That's Moloch. Moloch's the worst of all of them.
Why is he the worst?
Because he's the darkest of dark. Like, he's the one they sacrifice to. He's the one, all that, you know. And over here are all the fallen angels, and it's degrees. Lucifer isn't Moloch.
Where does Moloch come from? Find the origins of Moloch. Moloch's the owl, right? From Bohemian Grove?
The bull.
Oh, it's a bull.
Yes. It's the...
Oh, yes, I remember this. I remember the... Okay, yeah. The bull that eats children.
Yeah. Do you know one of the first films ever shown at the White House was a Moloch film?
No, I had no fucking idea.
Yes.
It's South... The surname... No. Moloch.
That's
Moloch.
Isn't it crazy
Moloch
you just
God.
spell something wrong and there's a whole thing about it?
Oh, this is what I'm looking
this
for.
This is a whole nother world.
Completely sends you off in a different fucking direction.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
a Canaanite deity.
Yes.
Okay. From what year? When was it? When was it first written about, or when was the first depictions of it? Oh, connected to Baal?
Yeah. Well, there's some people like...
The Baal shit's fake.
Moloch and... Well, why do you think the Baal shit's fake?
There is a... here, let me send... Steve, I'm going to send you a tweet thing. I'll show you why. Because there was... somebody sent me this. Or no, maybe this was actually... I think Ian Carroll. Somebody sent me this tweet. And Ian Carroll on his live stream, I guess, found out that there was a bunch of emails about that specific bank account.
Okay, the bank account may not be real. And that's
said,
the big thing with the dumps.
Because the ball came from that bank account with $11,000 in it, where it said BAAL, bank name or whatever. But there was like, I guess, a dozen other emails about that same exact bank account with 11 grand in it, where it said BAA1. Like, I guess it's some sort of like credit rating.
Right.
Here, I'll send you this. I'm going to text you this thing, Steve. But I don't know. It still could be real. Who knows?
But when we say it's not real, you mean the bank account's not real, but the God is real.
I think people saw. I think it was a typo, or it's supposed to say BAA1. People say see ball, and they just fucking run with it.
Yeah, which is it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say to me, Sam, do you think everything in these files is real? No, there's a lot of disinformation.
Right.
Because the goal is to keep the normies away, which is what Q was about. Q is something called Operation Trust, and it's a psychological operation. It's an intelligence operation, ran many, many times throughout history. And the basic goal of Operation Trust is to basically corral the conspiracy theorist into like a section and then pacify them.
Oh.
Right? That's why Patriots in control, right? And because they don't want, those are the people who are going to revolt.
Right.
But if you pacify them that nothing, like, dude, we got this, trust us, just hang out, chill, have a coffee, and we got this, right? That's what it is. Now, when I say that's Operation Trust, the reason that's really important is because what's being told, most of it is true, all right? Because that's how you corral conspiracy theorists. You got to give them the good shit, the street shit, the clean shit. Right. So they're like, dude, that adds up, bang, bang, bang. It's all real. But then they put the crazy shit in there so that the normies run off. Like when they're like, Hillary's been arrested in Guantanamo and she's been executed. That's there to have normal people go, whatever. I just saw her give a speech. F you, I'm gone. So that's the purpose of that is to corral critical thinkers into being pacified and then run off normies to yell at conspiracy theorists. That's Operation Trust. It's happened tons of times throughout history. I just had Beck Lover on, and he was talking about.
He's awesome. I love Beck.
Yeah, that guy's great. We had him on yesterday. Really great energy. But they've been running that forever to just pacify everybody. They tell you the truth. And then
they tell you the truth that they know sounds so fucking bonkers, you're just going to ignore it.
Not to conspiracy theories, but to normies. It's too much.
Right.
But there's also straight up lies, which is Hillary's been arrested and executed.
They throw that stuff in there.
To run off the normies.
To run off the normies. Yes, exactly. Here's that. Okay, so what is this? What is this one? This is some sort of bank statement where, it does say ball a bunch of times. Ball insurance,
but that is a
BBB.
1.
Oh, that is a 1.
Yeah,
it does look like an L, though.
Because you have BAA 3 and then
but
2.
that could be it, too. They could have done that on purpose. That's who they worship.
I had this dude Peter Lavenda on the other day, and he was explaining to me about this guy Michael Aquino.
Yeah, dude.
And then
He gave you 2
Kurt
bottle
Metzger was
moonshines?
blowing me up last night,
What,
saying
for
all this
34K
shit about
XP?
how Michael
Yo,
Aquino,
you can suck it.
Lavenda got it wrong. Aquino's a fucking sicko, and he was like,
Hold on, what did this guy say about Michael Aquino? What did he say?
so this guy, I had this guy Peter Lavenda who wrote a bunch of books about all this stuff. I don't know, you've probably heard of him, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I'm retarded.
So he was saying that he went with Michael Aquino to this event in Vegas, and he talked about all the stuff Michael Aquino used to do in his past, and like Vietnam with like the psychological operations and stuff like that, saying, oh yeah, there are witches in the forest. And Michael Aquino was like a Satanist.
Yeah.
He had goofy eyebrows.
The worst eyebrows.
And
I don't trust anybody with those eyebrows.
and
How do you have horns in your eyebrows?
basically the gist of it was like, yeah, he was a Satanist, but like what normal everyday people think of as a Satanist is not what he was. He was just this goofy guy who played dress up and like took funny photos. Like he wasn't drinking baby's blood, and like he wasn't doing all this crazy evil stuff. People accused him of like children and stuff like that, apparently, but there was no proof, there was no evidence. Like this is what Peter Lavenda was telling me, and Kurt was telling me last night. He's like, you got fucking lied to, bro.
Yeah. I mean, 100%.
I mean, I don't look at the guy and think that he's innocent of anything, but especially
no, that guy
from,
was straight up into the dark arts and hurting children. I mean, it's pretty well known. Here's the problem with everybody, and you know, you have this certain segment on Twitter. Trump's not a part of this. Trump isn't any of this. Where's the proof, right?
Right.
And the problem with that is you're expecting. I mean, by all accounts, we can all agree that the DOJ is protecting people. Is that a crazy statement?
It's a fair assessment.
Okay, it's a fair assessment, right? We have this fair assessment. So what you're expecting is the people that are protecting the pedos to release actual information that takes out the pedos. It's kind of like back in the day when we would, you know, when you're a conspiracy theorist and you're like, the media is lying to you, and then your normie friend would go, link, send me a link. And what they mean by link is send me a link from a mainstream media source,
Right.
which is saying a mainstream media source is lying to us.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Right.
Same thing with these dumps. Now, if you're asking me, we got 3.5 million emails, and you know, I've been talking about this on stage. It's like I don't even know how Epstein had time to children with sending all these emails. That seems like a full-time job, right? It's like
He's sitting there with his glasses down, like,
yeah. It's just 1,000 more to go, and then it's gonna be fun time. You know, I don't know, but if you take so there's this weird thing where they're saying only 2% of the files been sent out, right?
yeah.
Even though it's 3.5 and there's 6 million.
It's so there's 440 something thousand emails, but there's 3 million files.
Well, that's what we're kind of getting into. The last 98% of the files, I think, are video files. And I've been telling people that's where the really dark shit is.
Yeah.
That's where the stuff they don't want you to see.
Right.
And that's why they're dragging their heels on it.
Well, did you see that there was a story that came out this morning on Dropsite News where they were saying, it was either this morning or it was yesterday morning, where they came out with evidence from the Israeli embassy in New York was wiring Epstein's apartment with surveillance. And they had like all the emails to prove it.
Yeah.
Not the big apartment, but he had another apartment, like a smaller apartment for guests to stay at.
Right. Yeah, 100%.
So there's absolutely.
And then they were running it after he got arrested. They were running that forever.
actually sad that it's not selling. Cringe. Waiting for my coffee to be ready. Yeah, dude. .11 KD and he has not quested yet. He's gonna want to kill himself. Okay. Coffee should be ready. Oh my god, I just cracked my back. That felt so good. Wow. Okay. Jetzt Master. Grenades, heal. This.
Still, like even maybe after his death, they were still running surveillance on that shit.
Right.
That's what they do. This is a blackmailing account. This is how they do it, and they've been doing it forever.
Remember a few years ago when some high-profile agent
To what everybody
to save $30 off, U.S. residents only.
and again going back to what everybody like, where's the proof of Donald Trump is involved? And like I would say, you know, I would rather be pleasantly surprised than sadly disappointed, right? So my take is what you're expecting is a guy that was surrounded by blackmailers and files to be some lighthouse in a sea of shit. Like you're expecting this is like an anomaly.
Right.
And there's a lot of people putting their whole reputations on this point, that there's no proof that he was involved, you know? And I'm like, that's a dangerous game to play.
Very dangerous.
Because you don't know this dude. You don't know him personally. He's playing an archetype for you, a hero, and you're investing all of your career collateral betting on this dude, even though everyone around him was. I mean, if you look at the last like 5 or 6 presidents, you know, they all have a file scandal, with the exception of one, which is George Bush Jr., who happened to kill 2 million Iraqis, right? But he's the only one I haven't heard that's involved in any of this.
Right.
You know, George Bush Sr. is involved with the Franklin scandal. You know, Clinton's involved with the Epstein scandal.
Yep.
Obama is involved with Pizzagate. You know, and then Trump's also involved with the Epstein stuff. But you're expecting this guy to be completely an anomaly in this.
What do you make of Trump being the only person who was subpoenaed by Brad Edwards in 2008 to come to call him up and be like, I'll sit with you and talk for as long as you want? All the other people ignored the subpoena.
Yeah,
except for
I've
Trump.
seen that. And that is a big reason why.
Yep. want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything like a dumbass. I don't know what these people are doing right now. Practice covert. Like, why are people not moving? Like, that guy's been over there. Like, what is he doing? Oh my god. I might have got him. What is he doing? What shot me was a TMC though. So what the fuck? Pretty sure I have a weirdo in the lobby. Oh, he took out both my arms? Man.
Вон он! Вон он, блядь! Ебашь его! Вот петух! Сука, ёбнули нашего! Пошел! Вон он, сука! Вот он! Ты где? Хуйло вот! Где ты, а, сука? Вот он! Вроде никого. Прямо берцы!
Pilot quiz.
I think that guy thinks he's a little licky slick.
Вроде никого. А вот! Вот, блядь, Qwesthing!
I hope it's not looted because the other mark room was pretty disappointing. Fuck out.
I kind of was like, maybe he wasn't involved.
Or
you know,
maybe
the
he
lawyer
was trying to
says
get out in front of it.
100%. I mean, if you look at that Lupkick guy, like that guy will lie right to your face.
Oh yeah, Howard Lutnick.
Yeah, I mean, it's like crazy how dark that guy is. One of the biggest psychopaths we ever seen. So it's interesting to me. If you want to get ahead of it, you know, you kind of step forward. That's definitely what kicks this off, right? So Michael Wolff just gave an interview sitting in his chair, and he basically confirms that the fallout is over Mar-a-Lago. He's like a real estate
Trump's
deal.
fallout with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Epstein is, he backdoors Epstein on this property.
Yeah.
And that's when war happens. And they've been going back and forth. So the question is, why didn't the Democrats release any of this stuff, you know, while Joe Biden was in? And the answer is because
they're implicated too.
They're implicated
There's
too.
no left and right aren't real.
Right. That's the biggest thing. If you're fighting over right and left, you're fighting over black and white, straight and gay, you've already lost.
You're not supposed to. We're not supposed to be fighting left and right. We're supposed to be fighting up.
100%. And these people can't even understand that. So everyone's asking, like, why isn't there any protest protesting the people who eat children? I'm like, well, because the people who eat children are the ones funding the protest. That's why. None of this is organic.
Right.
The only organic one I saw was my friend Scotty the Kid created a march against child sex trafficking about 5 years ago. And like I was a part of that. We only expected a couple hundred people, and like thousands of people showed up. He's got another one coming March 7th It's going to be a big one again, but none of it's organic. There's this whole thing. People really they really defend their culture. Everyone's defending their culture. Most of your culture is contrived in think tanks, pushed forward by intelligence operations, right? I mean, people, I know you just had Kurt Metzger on, and he was like, everyone's like, oh, how are you going to know it's real?
I haven't had him on yet.
Okay.
He's coming.
But he's been saying it, I've been saying it for a while. You've never known what was real, ever. Your entire culture, and I'm not talking any one race or anything, the entire thing is astroturfed, and it's been manipulated by intelligence agencies. The entire 60s and 70s, all the bands were CIA projects. OnlyFans is most likely CIA at a minimum, and it's got to be an intelligence.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right? And then you have these chicks who make all this money. Right, she's like, "Oh, I'm making $60 million a year." Yeah, because it's a operation to convince girls they can make this kind of money, and then they get into the porn industry and their life goes to shit.
It could be a foreign intelligence operation.
Well, I mean, the guy gives more money to AIPAC than anybody else.
The guy who owns OnlyFans?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, he's the number one donor.
Holy shit! Going back to the Trump stuff. Trump he has to be the most poll-aware president of my lifetime. No president I've ever heard talk more about polls than Donald Trump, or is more hyper-aware of polls than Donald Trump. Except for one poll with his base, which is the Epstein stuff and the Israel stuff. He is Helen Keller when it comes to that.
Yeah,
poll.
100%, dude.
Why the fuck is that? It's the only one that he's completely blind to.
Listen, I think there's a part of Trump that just wants to be loved. He's always liked to be loved. He's always liked to be popular. He's always liked to be included. And, he wants to be a loved president. And, people are going to lose it on me. But if I look back at all the presidents, I would probably take Trump over everybody since
exactly.
JFK. Maybe Jimmy Carter. Somebody came on my podcast the other day, said he was a robot. Jimmy Carter died and they replaced him with a robot.
Yeah.
Now, you could say that's crazy, and I'm not saying it's not crazy, but man, if you watch those robots walking, they look exactly like Joe Biden when he was walking. And there was 7 Bidens, dude. There was black Biden. I don't know if you saw him giving the interview. It was like the mask goes to here, and then you see black skin under here. There's Nephilim Biden. There was when he was 7 foot tall Biden. There was fucking smooth leg Biden who looked like he had 20-year-old legs on that bike. I mean,
I remember that one. Yeah.
I mean, dude, anything's on the table right now.
Look, just because we're calling it like we see it with Donald Trump does not mean that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden would have been better candidates.
They would be way worse. And listen, the difference between Trump's cabinet...
You can hold two thoughts at once.
100%. The difference between Trump's cabinet and Kamala Harris's cabinet is that Kamala Harris's cabinet would be fat feminist, trans, and DI, and then Trump's cabinet is just closeted people.
Right.
That's the difference. In the end, you always get gay.
In the end, you always get gay. Why is that?
Because it's sexually
What
compromised.
is it? Did you see the Howard Lutnick, Tom Pritzker email? The dude who's the chairman of Hyatt Hotels.
What'd he say?
There's an email and he goes way back with Epstein. He emailed him on his birthday, said, "Hey, Jeff, I'm in Afghanistan right now in the desert. Petraeus just let me borrow a helicopter and I'm going to play with some boys and some toys."
That's the whole thing, dude.
This dude's worth, how much is Thomas Pritzker worth? Google that. This dude is one of the biggest Democratic political donors. His brother's, I think, the mayor of Chicago. And he's talking about
is crazy.
There's no misinterpretation when you talks to being in the desert in Afghanistan and boys. All the tier 1 operators I've heard talk about what happens with boys in Afghanistan.
Dude, I've been to Afghanistan.
Have you really?
It's called Man Loves Thursdays.
6.3 billion.
I mean, that family is crazy. Have you seen the brother sister?
No.
They're trans sister?
No, I have not.
Oh my God! Dude.
Wasn't she in the Obama cabinet? Wasn't she the Secretary of Commerce for Obama?
I'm not sure about that, but she's like helping fund all this trans shit, which is crazy because Epstein is right in the middle of the trans stuff. Like he's funding this ideology.
Yeah.
Which is again.
Oh, Jennifer, is that her?
Yeah, no, that's her.
Oh, Born James.
Yeah,
Born James Nicholas
God.
Pritzker.
Yeah, I've been talking about this on stage.
Holy shit.
This is my theory on the trans stuff. I mean, crazy, right? I'd fuck me. I'd think on the trans.
Bro.
Stuff. I mean, crazy, right? I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me.
Oh my God.
I've been talking about this on stage about how the trans issue comes down to one thing and one thing only: passability. Like, if you look like a hot chick, you can stay. If you look like a haunted scarecrow, get the fuck out of the woman's bathroom. Don't even use the guy's bathroom. Go shit in the woods, Sasquatch.
I mean, Jesus Christ, bro.
I mean, just a fucked up family, dude. I mean, just a effed up family, dude. These Democrats are crazy.
Didn't they come from like ancient Ukraine originally?
Probably. I mean, it's all like. So my thing about Epstein, to follow that point, is like, why Epstein? Why did they pick Epstein? Like, what is that thing that gets him into that investment firm and teaching at Bill Barr's father's place? Because he didn't have any credentials to be there.
Right.
Why did they pick him?
In the very beginning, why did they pick him?
So everything, dude, is about data. Like, I'm sure you've had people on talking about they're part of the GATE program and all that stuff. They've always been just studying data. And the whole thing is like, who is the psychopath and who is compromised sexually? If they find that person, they push them forward.
That's the person you want for intelligence. Someone
P. Diddy, right?
Right.
P. Diddy's working for, what's his face, at the record label, catches an essay case.
Is this the guy we were just talking about yesterday, the Def Jam guy? The guy who escaped.
Tony something.
Yeah, he went to some other country. He went to Indonesia or Bali or something.
Yeah, so
yeah.
He's working with this guy, catches an essay case, gets fired supposedly, and then somehow gets funds to start Bad Boy Records. But they got him. We're gonna get you out of this, but you got to basically play ball. Same thing with Bill Clinton. It's either Princeton or Oxford. I forget which of the schools he went to, but he catches an essay case real early and somehow gets out of it. And now he's on this journey. He's completely compromised. Same thing with Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg catches a murder case. They have him dead to rights. Somehow he gets out. Now he's watching figure skating twinks do backflips at the Olympics, right? They push you forward. And the minute he came out and said, "Why is there gay stuff in this kid's movie?" he got pounded on. And Snoop Dogg, they made him write a song for a gay cartoon, all that stuff. Again, he's watching figure skaters do backflips. And by the way, liking figure skating makes you gay. I'm gay as shit because that stuff's amazing. I don't want to shit on figure skaters because that shit is Ice Ninja stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely
incredible.
It's super athletic,
right? But they compromise you, and that's what it is. They just study everybody. They find out who the psychopaths are, who are the ones who will stab their own mother for power and success.
And you think they saw that in Epstein early?
There has to be that.
Yeah.
Why is he there? Why did they put him in this investment firm, or why they hire him at the school?
Yeah. Spring is right around the corner, and I'm very excited because I with Robert Maxwell.
So this is an interesting thing. So in the files, there is an email from the Rothschild to somebody else talking about Hitler, right? And how their family funded Hitler. And everyone's been saying that forever. And then we get yelled at that it's anti-Semitic or some shit like that. But like Hitler's father was the bastard son of a woman who was the housekeeper of a Rothschild. In a weird way, he's like a bizarro Jon Snow, right? Like, remember Jon Snow?
Oh, yeah,
like
of course.
the bastard son, but he's really the king bloodline-wise. That's Hitler. So everybody, like, I have good friends of mine that just have a visceral reaction to that because they want to believe Hitler's like the hero, and he's totally not. He's taking all this banker money. So they always take care of their own. It's bloodline shit. They always take care of their own. And she talks about how Hitler was in one of their houses for like homeless youth and shit like that, and he's selling paintings and stuff like that, and that's how they move him forward. They move him forward. He's charismatic, and what they want you to believe is that he somehow rose up in this completely locked down country. World War I, World War II is all about the Greater Israel Project. That's what it's about. Get Palestine from the Turkish Empire, destroy the Turkish Empire, and then World War II is about sending all the Jews to Palestine. So, you know, he was completely and utterly a psyop, and people get really angry about that. You're like, well, you know, the Germany's economy was going great. Well, you have to do that. You have to get the Germans behind this guy, so when they know war's coming, they'll go sacrifice their life for greater Germany. Right. That's the game that's played. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the reason I bring this up back around is because in the email, she says that the Rothschilds and the Epsteins funded Hitler. So the question becomes, is this Epstein's? And then you got this guy who rose to prominence and is like the center of this global blackmailing financial empire. You know, that's
the guy who was selling them. Yeah, look at him. Alright, y'all, I think I'm just gonna go chill for a bit. Come back live later, do a few raids on streets. Make a bit more ruble. Yep. I'm gonna go chill for a bit. I'll be back later.